Howdy folks, we are out here at Kate's Park on a kind of rainy Vancouver day. Hopefully it'll get better. Me and Dries, we are taking out the little Taka cat. There's Dries busy blowing it up, the little inflatable boat. So we're going to take a ride up into Deep Cove, up Indian Arm. But check it out, Kate's Park is actually such a cool place. So you can come and launch your boat over here. And we were hoping for a beautiful sunny day. It's not exactly that. We've got a little bit of rain, but hey, then again, if you live in Vancouver and you don't go out when it's raining, you probably won't go out a lot. So we're going to head out anyway and check what it looks like. Okay, here's my little drone shot of us putting the thing together in the park, a new little toy, which you'll see more of in the video later on. Check it out. Okay, so here we are. Quite a rig so we can get some footage for you. It's already starting to clear up, so the sun is out, which is amazing. Check it out. This is the other camera, the action cam that I'm going to be using. So the boat's ready. It's actually amazing how quick it is to set this little thing up. It's just like it's a pleasure, honestly. And it looks like it's going to turn out to be a beautiful day. Clouds gone, rain's gone, no wind. It's perfect. So I'll get some cool footage from the ocean. I might not talk a lot since we're going to have wind and noise disruption, but hey, show you what it looks like up Indian Arm. Okay, so as you can see, we are on the boat here. We actually had a very beautiful day. The water was nice and smooth most of the way until maybe the last little bit, but you'll see that in the end. So this is just going around Deep Cove now, heading up Indian Arm. I'm not going to let you check the whole video because it took us about 4 hours on the round trip because we actually had quite a few stops, but it is stunningly beautiful out there. I mean, look at this. And this is only accessible by boat. So when you are up here, this is like all of these houses and everything that you see here is literally only accessible by boat. It is beautiful out here, and it was actually a perfect day. It wasn't too sunny and it wasn't too cold, although normal Vancouver style, the weather changed quite a bit. Anyway, let's play with the little drone that I brought along. Look at how small it is. It's this tiny little thing that you launch from your hand. And then it's got like follow mode and all kinds of other stuff. But of course, it needs to pick up satellite. And for some weird reason, it kept losing the satellite up Indian Arm. Apparently, because we are higher up, the satellites can get hidden behind the mountains. So the thing would go crazy and it would just start flying erratically. You'll see it now. It's good, and now it's just starting to go like nuts. It's going lower and it's like all over the place. If it works, it would be cool to get some extra footage, but hey, we did get some. We were quite lucky. I tried flying it twice, and both times it started freaking out on the water. And both times we managed to catch it, because of course the crazy thing here is that it could very easily just dip into the water because it's totally erratic. Luckily, Dries is a good boat driver. And I gotcha. Nice. Check at this. We saw seals right up the end of Indian Arm. Check at the seal on the log there. And then of course there was this thing. I don't know what this is. First Nations land, and they built these. I don't know what that is. It's like a fish corral. Not sure. Anyway, check at these two. They are so chill. They really don't actually care. They're just lying there on the log and watching us come closer. Looks like they've got an awesome life, these oaks. I mean, check them out. Big fat seals, just white grey already, and they're just chilling there looking at us. Look at them. Like, hey, what are you doing, guys? There's every log in this little end. That's the end of Indian Arm that you see there in the end. And every log there's got seals lying on it. Oh, and this is the Royal Vancouver Yacht Club. Check this out. This is like a really fancy yacht club. Also right up there by the end of Indian Arm. Just basically next to where we saw the seal. And it's like, I think it's $60,000 a year. It's like ridiculously expensive to belong to the yacht club. The one guy that we found there on the other side said, "Oh, it's so exclusive, I'm not even allowed to look over there." Royal Vancouver Yacht Club. I believe it was an old resort or something that they took over. And you're only allowed to moor here if you're a member, and you can go and eat. And they've got a hotel, I guess. Yeah, so you can, if you're very rich, you can take a boat and cruise out there. And if you're a member of the yacht club, and go hang out there for the. It is a stunning location. It is stunning, stunning, stunning. And like I said, once again, only accessible by boat. You can't drive there. I suppose you can walk there if you want, mountain forest. But yeah, it was beautiful. It's amazing the peace places that we have. That beautiful British Columbia. What can you say? Eh? It is just different out here. Anyway, so this was the Royal Vancouver Yacht Club. And now we actually took it nice and easy, and we just cruised down the coast and enjoyed nature. This is still towards the end. There's the Royal Vancouver Yacht Club behind us towards the end of Indian Arm. It was absolutely stunning. We actually tried to find a place to land because we wanted to test the drone on land. We decided that it's not ideal to test the drone on the water. So this is another yacht club. These are some guys building a dock on the side here, or refurbing a dock. And this is another yacht club, but we weren't allowed to land here either because it's also private property. I couldn't see the name exactly, but they have like a little restaurant and a hall and all kinds of stuff here. So I suppose members can come out here, picnic grounds. So yeah, we decided to carry on. There's a camping site. So yeah, check it out. Chill in the boat. Relaxing. Sorry about the feet in the shot, but I was comfortable. Anyway, yeah, so we couldn't land there either. And then we were cruising further on. This is a little island in the middle of Indian Arm. So we're going through the narrow passage over here. It was actually quite funny. Up there at the end of Indian Arm, we wanted to land, and there was like a place that looked like roadworks. But we couldn't land there. Well, we landed there, and then we got told off because it's private land, First Nations land. Anyway. So, yeah, there's some really stunning places. There's lots of private land. There's lots of First Nations land. There's land that you can rent. Look at all the other boats also. That oak has got his, like, washing on the back there, hanging off the edge of his boat. Anyway, yeah, so there are parcels of land that you can outright own, but most of them is that rental. So you buy the land and you rent it. And this, I think we're coming up on the actual picnic place out here, or camping site. So it's just like a random campsite out in the middle of Indian Arm, which is only accessible by boat once again. So you can only arrive there. I do believe some oaks you can walk across the mountain, or there's a bicycling path. But anyway, check it out. It's actually quite a really cool campsite. Next summer we're going to head out there. I did get some drone footage from the campsite as well, which I will share with you in a second. But yeah, really cool. They've got toilets, pit toilets, and you're not allowed to make fire there, or have make fire. Yeah, I suppose you can have a gas fire, but it's cool. It's just like in the bush. There's this like little campsites, and you can just pull in there and camp with your boat, obviously. You don't need to book. I believe that there's a place somewhere where you can drop like a few bucks into a honesty box, which they collect to upkeep the thing. But yeah, that was about it. And they've got all these little hidden campsites. We ran into a couple of other people out here, some guys that were hiking up there, and another couple and their dogs sitting on the beach. They say they regularly, oh, check out the slug. Cool. Anyway, they say they regularly come out here in the summer and camp, and there's hardly ever any people. I can imagine because, like I said, once again, only accessible by boat. So we're definitely going to try and do this next summer. I just need to figure out because I don't think Dries's boat, the little rubber duck, is big enough to get us all out there with camping gear. We were talking about maybe getting like inflatable boats and towing it behind the rubber duck. Or alternatively, if one of you have got a bigger boat and we can borrow it, or you want to come camp, let's go out there and go and camp. But I think it would be amazing to just go out there in the summer and go camp for a couple of days. I mean, there's nothing there. You have to take everything. Water, there's toilets. Toilets there are, but everything else you need to take with you. And yeah, so you're going to need a bigger boat and maybe some sort of barge or something to tow behind you for the whole thing. I don't know. Depends on how much stuff you want to take. But I mean, look at it. It is just absolutely amazingly beautiful out there. There's people with kayaks and like all kinds of watercraft going through there. I suppose when it's high summer, it can get quite busy out here. This time around, it wasn't that busy. Sorry, I'm just playing with the drone here, trying to figure out. It's amazing how it flies perfectly on land, but the moment we were over the water, it didn't want to work out very well. And then, of course, I played with it over here at the campsite and got all the batteries flat, so we ended up not being able to test it over the water closer to civilization, I suppose. So the whole thing is with this drone, it automatically follows you. So you can put it in the sky. I tested it with Dries. You can put it in the sky and it will just literally just follow you around and record, which is very cool, really. It is actually very cool. Here's another campsite up front here. Dries is playing model for the drone. I suppose you also have to take bear spray when you come and camp out here because, yeah, I guess that there's definitely bears around and all kinds of other wild animals. But yeah, we actually spend quite a bit of time over here. So there's like a little info board which tells you a little bit more about the park. It's called Bishop Creek or Seinuthkau Provincial Park, anyway, by the First Nations name. Anyway, so some last shots of this beautiful, beautiful campsite, which we definitely need to figure out how to visit next year sometime before we get back on the water. I got to tell you, some of these places along the water here, it's just amazing. I mean, you've got all kinds. There's people that's got like a little hut on there, just like a tiny little house. There are oaks that's got giant mansions over there. It's just, it's just fantastic. I don't know. I wonder what it would be like to live out there. Because remember, the thing is, if you live in this house on the side here, we're going to come up on a few right now, you're only accessible by boat. And while I'm sure in summer it's a lot of fun, I check the water is starting to get a little bit more choppy. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm sure in summer it's a lot of fun, but I can only imagine when it's raining and it's like cold and snowy and windy and stormy. I'm not so sure it's that cool to then head out there to your house or to pop back into town. I mean, especially the way things are with us. It's like every now and then I need to get down to the shop to go and get something or pick Angelique up from school. Well, I guess one of the key things is you're going to need a proper boat. You don't want to be doing it with a little rubber duck like this. If you have to live out there, you want a proper boat with a roof so you can, if it's raining, you stay dry. And then you've got to find a place to dock your boat. I would suppose probably in Deep Cove or somewhere around there you need to dock your boat. Oh, check this little waterfall. Apparently there's waterfalls all over in early summer when the snow melt is still going strong. I can imagine that. Towards this one, this was the only waterfall that we actually saw coming into Indian Arm or coming into the water. But I mean, check it out. It's just stunning, right? They're so majestic, these cliffs and the trees. And there are some people that's got, you see just a little dock in the water here, and then there's like stairs going right up the side of the cliff to the top, and then you see a little hut sitting there in the trees. Or a giant mansion in some cases, but yeah. It was actually didn't take us that long to go up Indian Arm. I think the actual journey was about 45 minutes to the top. Um, all in all, we spent about 3.5 hours, 4 hours on the water. But that's because we stopped, and then up there at the top end of Indian Arm, we spent quite a bit of time floating around there, checking out the seals. I didn't show you all the footage because otherwise you would be sitting here for 4 hours. But yeah, so we stopped there and we spent a bit of time chatting to the other people at the campsite. Look at that. See that little thing? It's just a tiny, it's like a one-roomer there. Almost more of a glamp. And then right next to it, a big fancy house. Obviously, as you get closer to Deep Cove, the houses and the types of houses start popping up, in value and size a little bit. So this also looks like a beach that where we just passed. It was just this like other little beach where the kayakers were camping, or not camping, where they stopped to just, I suppose, stretch their legs. There's lots of little communities along the side. So you'll have like a central dock, and then there's like 5 or 10 houses in this little valley up the side, and all of them share the central dock, but it's all private property. So you have a bit of neighbors around you, but once again, you can only access it from the one. Well, check at this house. There are people that went and built themselves some decent houses out here. Their own docks and their own everything. Like that's a little community up there. You got to like your neighbors. You can't have a crappy neighbor if you live there, I suppose. But anyway, check it out. It's like docks with chairs, people sitting out here in the summer and fishing and chilling. I don't know. On the one hand, it feels amazing. On the one hand, I would love to have a property like that and be disconnected from society. But on the other hand, I'm like, you miss out on all the other cool things, just like being able, like I said, to quickly get down to the store when you feel like a steak and go grab something, or go grab a coffee, or just, all the normal things. So we're getting closer towards Deep Kloof now on our way back. As you can see, properties are getting bigger and more. Here we are entering into Deep Cove. The harbor is right in front of us. Right, yeah, this is the Deep Cove boat docks, I think, on the right here. It's a little bit later, yeah. This is up to Deep Cove, the main dock. We thought we were going to dock here and just grab a coffee, but then you need to buy a ticket and pay by the hour and everything, and it just seemed like too much of a mission. So we decided to just pull the plug and go back and go grab fish and chips. Anyway, check it out. This is the Deep Cove dock. This dude has got a braai going on his boat anchored in Deep Cove. Eh? Must be nice to have a big... Belinda doesn't want me to get a boat. She doesnn't like boats, so it is. I suppose. We are not doing boats, apparently. It was a cool day out on the water, I have to say. Interesting thing, though, it was like it made me hungry. It was, I don't know, hungrier than normal, I suppose. But I mean, it's like the 4 hours went past like this. It was so quick because you're always looking at new things, and the water is clear. The water is very cold. It's perfect for cold plunging, I feel like, anyway. But so we spent the day out there. This is the other side of Deep Cove Harbour. We were checking if there's a way to put the boat in there, and we couldn't see anything. So if any of you know of other boat launches out Deep Cove side, let me know. But we thought there might be a spot, couldn't find anything. But check it, the beautiful lawns out there, and check it, all the fancy houses up on the other side. And this is obviously the little point of Deep Cove that sticks into the ocean, the side of it, which is like, only the very, very big places. It's And of course, as you can see, it's getting a little bit more choppy. The water is, the wind started coming up and it started getting a bit cold. One thing about British Columbia, the weather changes in a dime, right? Because it was cool in the morning, cold in the morning, then it was beautiful and sunny and it was hot, and then it was cold again, and then it was hot and sunshine, and now it was getting actually cold. We had our jackets on. Of course, when you're out on the water on a little rubber duck like this and any other boat goes past and you're at speed, you start bouncing like a maniac. But all things considered, it was definitely an interesting and fun trip. It was definitely really cool. I am thinking of getting a little rubber duck, but something a little bigger so we could maybe fit 6 people on there. That would be nice. Check out that guy's house out there with his like boat garage and everything. Amazing. Stunning, stunning views, really. Yeah, it's what you got to remember. You live in British Columbia. There's a reason we live here. It is just, you know, it's different. It's beautiful. I'm sure there's lots of other places on earth that's also beautiful like this, but I really do enjoy British Columbia, the views and the ocean and the mountains and the everything. It's just really, really nice. It's oh, we've got some kayakers coming up. So you can rent out kayaks there in Deep Cove and a couple of other places. So people would rent these kayaks and head out to up Indian Arm all over the place. Now we're coming back up on Kate's Park. It's actually Kate's Park here on the right. We're just going to go around it. It's a really beautiful park. If you haven't been there yet, it's a perfect place for a picnic on a sunny day. It's amazing, really. Me and Belinda went and ate fish and chips there the one day as well. I think there's a video on the channel of that. But yeah, definitely worth getting out. I think that's one of the key things you got to do when you're out here in British Columbia is to get out and explore and enjoy nature. Alright, you can see it's getting a little bit more choppy, and not a lot, just a little bit, and already you are bouncing like we were bouncing like crazy. So with a rubber duck, you do want the day to be nice and the water to be smooth. Alright guys, cheers.